What's up, y'all? It's your girl Brandy from Stay Snatched, and today we're making Kung Pao chicken. This is a dish loaded with so much flavor. What's up, y'all? We are making Kung Pao chicken today, and if you're new around here, I love to make takeout quality restaurants right at home. To be honest, I feel like it often tastes much better. So this recipe is inspired by the dish at Panda Express or just any takeout restaurant that serves Kung Pao chicken. You can also easily make this recipe using shrimp. I also love Kung Pao shrimp. Just swap out the chicken for some shrimp. So let's dive into the ingredients that I have here. I'll start with the chicken. I'm using 1 pound of chicken breasts, and I slice these about ½ an inch thick. At Panda Express especially, the chicken comes in these smaller little cubes, but you can slice them up however you like. You can also use chicken thighs if you don't want to use chicken breasts. That's a really easy swap. So first I've got the chicken breasts, and then I'm going to coat it in an egg. I have some salt and pepper here, and then I also have some baking powder. So what I'm gonna do, and I'll show you in a second, is I'm gonna drizzle this egg over the chicken and then season it with the salt and pepper and the baking powder, because as we get that in the pan with some sesame oil, it's gonna allow the chicken to kind of crisp up and make it like fried chicken. And so then that brings me to my sauce. So once the chicken's nice and crisp, you're gonna wanna coat that in a nice good sauce. So I have some soy sauce and rice wine vinegar here. I use unseasoned rice wine vinegar because then it's sugar free and you don't have that added sugar in there that I don't feel like I really need in the recipe. And so I'm going to include in the description box below detailed serving sizes for everything I'm using in this recipe. So don't worry, you won't miss it. And then I've also got some sweetener. So we just talked about how I use unseasoned rice wine vinegar because I like to add my own sweetener. This is monk fruit sweetener, but you can use sugar. You can use whatever you like to sweeten things up. Then I have some minced garlic and ginger. Really good at creating an aromatic flavor in there. I have some chopped green onions. And then the only 2 veggies that are really in the dish, besides the green onions, are the zucchini and red peppers. So I love these. I recommend about ½ a cup each, but sometimes I like to use about 1 cup just to sneak some extra veggies in there. Goes so well with the chicken and the sauce, these 2 veggies. Then I have some peanuts. These are roasted and then just kind of loosely chopped up in half. Then I have some water. And I said I was talking about the sauce, but I moved right on to the veggies. So this water is part of the sauce. So what's going to happen is I'm going to combine the water, the soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, the garlic and ginger, and the sweetener, a little bit of salt and pepper. And then once that sauce gets to working, you're gonna wanna thicken it up. And so to thicken it up, today I'm gonna use a mixture of 1 part cornstarch, 1 part water. You can also use xanthan gum if you're trying to keep the recipe low carb, because cornstarch does have some carbs in there. So I'll include some substitution notes below if you don't wanna use cornstarch and you need a low carb alternative. I gotcha. So that's the sauce. These are the veggies I already showed you. The peanuts I already showed you. In my opinion, the star of the dish is, in my opinion, the star of the dish is these dried chili peppers. I have about maybe 7 or 8 of them here. They are spicy. So if you're someone who doesn't like spicy, you could maybe use crushed red pepper instead. The other thing I'll say is that if you just cook the dish in these but don't eat them, it's not terribly spicy. So I would say it's maybe a medium spicy. So if you just cook the dish in these dried chili peppers, but then you don't actually eat them, you just eat the veggies and the chicken and the sauce and all of that greatness, then it's not that spicy. But if you bite into these, they are a little bit hot. I love to get these at my local Asian market because they have everything for so cheap there, and I'm supporting a small business in my community. So these are only like a couple of dollars, and I got a pretty big bag. I can actually show you This is the size bag that I got. This was $1.85 for this. But then you can also grab these somewhere like Amazon is gonna have them as well. So I'll link to some dried chilies in the description box that you can get online from Amazon. And so I talked about the sesame oil. This dish is cooked in sesame oil and it just helps give it so much flavor. If you've never tried kung pao chicken, you don't know what it tastes like. It's kind of like a sweet and sour dish. We get our sweet elements from the sweetener that I talked about. We get a little bit of a salty element from the soy sauce, and the rice wine vinegar also helps give it a little bit of a sour taste. But then you get a little bit of heat in there thanks to these dried chili peppers. So think sweet and sour, and then a little bit of heat because of those dried chili peppers. Just an amazing combination of flavor. Absolutely love it. And then here I've already cooked. I want to make sure this doesn't leak out. This was frozen cauliflower rice that I just cooked in my microwave. It only needs to cook for 5 minutes. I like to serve this over that. You can also use white rice if you wish. So we've walked through all of the ingredients. Let's go ahead and get started. First, I have 1 pound of chicken breast sliced into chunks, and I'm gonna season that with 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, some salt and pepper to taste, and then 3 tablespoons of baking powder. And I'm gonna add in 1 egg as well here. This is going to get our chicken crispy. You can also just completely omit those ingredients if you'd like. Then I have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, 1/4 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of monk fruit sweetener, and some salt and pepper to taste. And I'm just gonna combine these ingredients for the sauce. And then I'm gonna drizzle about a teaspoon of sesame oil in the pan and add my chicken breasts. And so you're just gonna stir fry those. You're gonna wanna flip those to get both of the sides cooked. And you wanna cook that chicken until it has fully cooked through. It may take you a few minutes. And you're gonna remove that chicken and set aside, and add an additional teaspoon of sesame oil to the pan, along with 2 tablespoons of chopped green onions, 3 minced garlic cloves, and 1/4 teaspoon of grated ginger. Cook that until it becomes fragrant, and add in 1/2 cup of chopped red peppers, 1/2 cup of chopped zucchini, and saute those until the veggies are soft. Then you're gonna add in 1/4 cup of chopped peanuts, along with 7 to 8 dried chili peppers, and give that a good stir. Then you're gonna add your sauce to the pan. And to thicken that sauce, you're gonna combine 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1/2 tablespoon of water. Combine those and then add it to your sauce and stir to thicken. Add your chicken back to the pan and stir. And there you have it, kung pao chicken. And so I have the final dish here, and I did want to point out that with dried chili peppers, how spicy they are is definitely going to vary from brand to brand. One thing that you'll notice is that some chili peppers, earlier I said that you can just cook your chili peppers in the sauce and then it's going to soak up some of that heat. With a lot of them, you may need to slice into them and get the seeds out if you want it to be really spicy, or if you're looking for something that's mild and without spice, maybe just use red chili flakes, because those seeds inside the dried chili peppers are going to be pretty spicy. So kind of keep that in mind. If you've never used dried chili peppers before, you may need to test out a couple of brands to see what you like. And if you're finding that the dish isn't spicy enough, slice into them, get the seeds out. And if you're finding that it's too spicy, switch it up, use something else. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe.